What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my show, Coach Fred Tagalog. And today we're going to be talking about qualifying for marriage, what you need to know before you get married. But this video is more pertaining to the Philippines. And the more you know about the Philippines, the more you'll understand why things happen the way it happens over there. Now, we have the volume 3 or the video part 3, which I made yesterday. This one is part 4, but this is Philippine version. Now, when I'm talking about the Philippines, I'm talking about in general population. I'm not talking about the normal life of the well-to-do families. This is more on the average. This is the people that I deal with. This is where when I go over there in the Philippines, this is what I see. Okay, this is just based on my experience. Anyway, so the topic for this video would be life and marriage in the Philippines in the general population. So why do they break up over there? There is no divorce in the Philippines. Okay, if you guys don't know that, now you know that there is no divorce in the Philippines. You guys can get married at a proper age, legal age. I believe is 18, and then after that, there is no divorce. Um, if you want they call it annulment. If you have, lots of money, probably 30, $40,000 maybe, then you can get annulment. I heard some got annulment at $20,000, but it's very hard. It's like a unicorn. It's very hard to get an annulment. You got to know the judge. You got to know an attorney. You got to know a lot of people up in the high-ranking echelon. So if you're just a normal, regular person working at McDonald's, you're not gonna get an annulment. Okay, that's only for the rich people. See, the rich people over there, some of them make more money than us here in America. Believe it or not, they make more money. The politicians over there, they make more money than us over here, who makes pretty good money as well. So the annulment are set aside for the rich people in the Philippines. For normal people living over there in the Philippines, there is no annulment. They don't have money. There's no way. Okay, it costs too much. So now let's dive into why, even though in the Philippines there is no divorce, people still break up. The families still break up, and why there is so many single moms in the Philippines. So first, let's dive into the financial aspect of the life in the Philippines. So normally, if they have a job in the Philippines, they'll make a person who probably finished college and then work at a place and establish himself working there for 5, 10 years. He'll make about $250 a month. Um, some very few they will work at a call center. They make maybe about $400 a month or $500 a month. So no more than $600 a month. Okay, so when you say $600 a month, that's a lot of money over there. But it doesn't mean it can buy a lot. It just means that the person with $600 a month salary, it just means that he's better off than the other people. But $600 in the Philippines buy you nothing. Trust me. And all other YouTubers out there, they talk about how cheap it is. Hey man, you know what? I spend a lot over there. Anyways, that's not the topic over here. So, in general, they make about $250 a month. And how much does it cost to raise a child? Okay, no babysitting, none of that child care stuff. About starting at $300 a month to raise a child. Minimum $300 a month. So right there, right off the bat, a person's salary for 1 month does not even cover the expense to raise a child, one child. So over there, how can a woman in the Philippines get her lifestyle? Because as we discussed this on the previous videos, women are more interested in a lifestyle rather than being interested in a good person, a good wholesome guy. They're more they pick the lifestyle. They're more interested in the lifestyle rather than picking a wholesome person. And that's how women are. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way they're built. Just like men, we're geared differently. We build things. We're simple machine. We eat, sleep, sex. That's it. That's all we are. We have no complication in our life. Women are built differently. They want a lifestyle. They want fun. Most of them don't know what they want, but they do know what they don't want, and which is hardship, which is limited income. They don't want that because living like that is no lifestyle. So women are more geared into a nice lifestyle. And in the Philippines, since most men make about $250, there is no lifestyle to even think about. That's the level. That's the starting point in the Philippines. Okay, we're not talking about the rich people now. We're talking about the normal people. So the lifestyle that a normal a woman would be thinking about over there, they have no idea yet. Okay, most of them are blind. The women over there, the young women. So men don't make that much over there because the job over there are scarce. There's not a lot of jobs. Most good paying jobs, or all jobs that pays well or a little bit better, are in Kuwait, Hong Kong, anywhere but in the Philippines. How's that sound? Because I don't want to name all of it. So they're like OFW, overseas Filipino worker. So they go outside the Philippines to work to make a little bit more money, like $400 a month, maybe $500 a month. And then if there are a merchant marine, because in the Philippines they call merchant marines, they call it in the Philippines seaman. Seaman. Listen to my pronunciation, seaman. Because over here we pronounce it seaman, right? Seaman, a person who is a merchant marine working in a ship for transporting goods. They make about 1,000, maybe 1,300, 1,400 a month, something like that. But they only work like no more than 9 months. So 3 or 4 months, they may not even work. So if you average that out, maybe it's only like 1,000 a month, US dollars. So because the income is low over there, it's hard for women to dream of a lifestyle. They don't know what that is yet because they will eventually find out what is a lifestyle that they're craving for. It's something like the craving for something, but they don't know what it is yet. Okay, but in later on in life, they will discover what they want in life. So imagine this. We'll do a one scenario in the Philippines. So you have the young couples. They're 20 years old. They finish college. Then they get into a relationship. They love each other and so on, right? So moving forward, she gets pregnant because they do have sex over there before marriage. Okay. I was naive before. I thought in the Philippines that they don't have sex until they get married. I thought in the Philippines they marry before they carry. I was wrong about that. I started going back to the Philippines 2016. I grew up here in America. I came here when I was 5. So I don't really know anything about the Philippines since I came back 2016. That's when I started realizing it's different in the Philippines. So over there, it's normal for them to have sex before marriage, even though they claim to be Catholic country, okay, or whatever religion they claim. So they get pregnant at an early age. So this is just the flow chart. We're gonna do a power flow. We're gonna go from A to B or A to Z. So young age, young couples, 20s, 18s, or young couples below 21. Now they get pregnant. So the woman gets pregnant. So they'll find out. Um, in my point of view, I don't see them thinking it's a problem. They look at it as a normal thing. Oh, so you're pregnant. This is their parents' reaction. Oh, you're pregnant. Oh, okay. And then the kids are like, okay. The couples now, they see it as, well, now we're pregnant. I guess we got to live together now. They don't have to necessarily get married, because getting married, now you have to throw a party. You gotta have money. You gotta pay certificates, certification. You have to go to the city hall, get a marriage certificate. Then you're gonna have people to witness the marriage, and then signatures, and you're gonna have money. You're gonna spend money, and most of them don't have money. So I'm assuming, well, not assuming. That's not the right word. Majority, they just live in. Some, they get married and get the certificate as a certificate of marriage, like a marriage license. So now, of course, their parents are fully aware of this, and the majority of them, their parents is actually a single mom. Okay, there's no dad at home. Dad's missing. Dad is somewhere else, nowhere to be found. So let's say the son tells the mother, "Hey, I got this girl pregnant." So the mom says, "Okay, I guess she'll move in here." So now they live in together in their mom's house, or in the perspective of the woman, it will be mother-in-law's house. So they live there, and then about less than 9 months, she gives birth. Right? I don't know exactly how or who pays for the medical when she gives birth in the hospital, but they have told me some stories where they don't even go to the hospital. They give birth in their house. They get a midwife for free, and then they give birth right there on the spot. No hospital, nothing. And some of them die too during childbirth. So anyway, so now we have a child involved. So we got a young husband, a wife, young wife. Now they got a baby. So before all of that, they were already struggling. They have no money, no food, no jobs. Okay, we're talking about college graduates here. We're talking about educated kids. It's even worse when they're not educated. So they're educated now. So it's hard to find a job in the Philippines because you have to go overseas. You have to go outside the Philippines to get a job. And going outside the Philippines means they're going to have to separate for about 9, 10 months, or maybe years, maybe a year or 2 years. Okay? So now they're living with their mom. The mom, I don't know where she gets the money, but she probably gets the money from her boyfriend online. Some foreigner in Europe, maybe, Australia, maybe in America, I don't know. Canada, maybe. The boyfriend sends her money, maybe $200, $300 a month. He pays for the rent of the house, which is about 3,000 pesos. That's about $60 a month. So now they have an extra mouth to feed, the daughter-in-law, and then the kid, the grandkid. They don't get milk from the grocery. The baby will be breastfed. So the life is hard, difficult life. Now it's gonna get even worse. Okay, I don't know exactly the mentality or what's going on in their head at that moment, because I've been asking people in the Philippines, like, well, what's going through your head, and what's your going through your head when this thing is all happening? Because I'm curious. Because I would freak out if that happened to me. I got no job, for example, and I have a kid now, and I have no house. I would freak out. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do. It seems like they don't have an answer. They're like, oh well, no, well, life is hard. I think the word they're looking for is they already accepted it and they don't know anything else behind the wall. Or is there anything else better than this? This is the best they'll get, because they're not really freaked out. They're not even freaked out at all. They're not even worried. So their biggest fight is not about getting the baby the baby's needs, like clothes and stuff, shoes, vaccines. The biggest problem they'll have is the guy gets tired of the woman or the wife, because remember they're living in, so I don't know, you can't even call them a wife. So they're living in. The guy gets tired of the wife. Okay, we'll just call her wife. We get tired of the wife because now he sees her every day. So there's no more spark. So now the husband finds another girl outside in the street. Okay, now they'll have problems because the guy who didn't have a job will have another girlfriend who's pregnant. They're more worried about that. They'll fight over that guy rather than fight over about the baby. That baby's secondary. That's another problem. So basically, it's problem on top of another problem, another problem, another problem. In about a year of this nonsense, eventually they'll find somebody, because they're going to be looking for jobs. The guy will not find a job. It's hard to get a job over there. That's the way it is. The woman has a better chance of getting a job. There's a lot of clubs over there. And guess what? Either they work the clubs, okay? They got to undress to make money. I don't know. I mean, fudge, I just really don't even want to talk about this. But because since I'm talking about marriage, I want to tell the story about the marriage in the Philippines. Anyways, so if they don't want to work the club, they'll find another recruiter to get them a job at overseas, like Kuwait, and become a what's that word? I know they're going to be called OFW, but they clean people's houses. Domestic helper. There you go. So they get shipped out. They go to be a domestic helper in Kuwait, for example. So they're not gonna see their husband for maybe for a year or more, because they have a contract. They have a contract and they need to stay in Kuwait, and then they're not gonna see the child. So they make about $400 a month. The woman, the wife, so she'll send $300 every month to the guy, and then she'll probably keep $100 for her. Then the $300, guess what the guys do in the Philippines? Now remember, I'm just quoting this. I'm just saying what I see. That $300, maybe $100 would be left for the kid. The $200, it's party time. Get another girl pregnant. And then they'll go to celebrate, buy food, have a birthday party, bring their friends over. So even though that the wife is working in Kuwait, sending $300 a month, there will be no savings. Okay, they could be doing this for 10 years. After 10 years, they will be back to the way they were when they first got married, when they first had the baby. So the child now grows up without the parent, without the mom. Now the mom, like remember what I told you, they don't even know what a lifestyle is because they're in the Philippines. Now they're in Kuwait or a Middle East or Dubai, whatever. Now they're gonna start seeing lifestyle, not because they're gonna see other men with means, cars, Rolex, money. Now the woman wants that lifestyle. Now this is what I'm talking about. They look at it and said, "Shit, I want a, I want a better lifestyle than that. I want a piece of that, life." So now they engage a relationship with a Saudi Arabian guy or Middle Eastern guy or Kuwait guy, whatever. And guess what? They'll forget about the husband in the Philippines. That's the cause of their breakup. Now she's living a life that she wants. And she may not even come home anymore. So now you got a single dad with multiple girlfriends that are pregnant. And then the wife is now with another Arabian prince. Not an actual prince, but just Arabian. Because there's a rapper called the Arabian Prince back in my day. Well, anyway, so that's the cause of marriage breaking up in the Philippines. Whether they're living in or they're married, that's how they break up. When eventually, when they set apart from each other, and then the wife started that lifestyle, now she sees a better lifestyle, she'll make a choice and never come back. So the men in the Philippines doesn't even they don't get a chance to provide. So men in the Philippines, let's see, let's go back. So women normally, and this is like about 80% we're talking about in general, women are built to look for the lifestyle. They're attracted to a lifestyle. You're looking for a provider, an alpha male. They were born like that. They're not gonna find that in the Philippines because the man over there don't even have a chance because there is no job, so they can't provide. They have no job because there's no lifestyle. Now there's no lifestyle. How can there be an alpha male if you have no money? So the country right there on the spot, the job are scarce. And it's not their fault. Whose fault is it? I'm not going to say. I'm just telling you what I see. So that's the cause of their breakup. Whether they're married or not, or they're living in or not, it will end up being a separation or divorce. Okay? So let's give you another scenario. So let's say the guy is what's a good job in the Philippines? I can't even think of a job. Okay, let's say the guy is a bank manager at some local bank. So he's making about 30,000 pesos. That's equivalent to $600 a month. Now, like I said earlier, $600 a month is a lot of money in the Philippines. It just and that means you make more money than the average people. But it doesn't mean that you can buy a house, you can buy a car, and live like the way we do here in America. It doesn't mean that. It just means you have more money than the other people. That's all it means. So now we got a guy who's working in the bank making $30,000, 30,000 pesos a month, which is $600 a month. So now we got that scenario. Now he pursues a girl who's a college grad, a teacher maybe a teacher. So she makes maybe $300 a month, $200 a month. So combined together, they make about $800 a month. Okay, big deal, right? But $800 a month is a lot of money in the Philippines, but you can't buy a lot. So now they get married, and guess where they're gonna stay? They're gonna stay in their parents' house. Just the same scenario as the first scenario. They're gonna live with their parents' house. You already know, living in somebody else's house, you got no privacy. Then you can have arguments with your in-laws. Yeah, I really don't want to talk about that, but I want you guys to use your imagination. Fill in the stuff that I don't talk about. Fill in the gap that I gap. So they live in the house, they work together, or they work, but the money that they make is not a lot. It's not a lot. Okay? They're they're actually um, not enough to buy their own house and live in their own place. So they're gonna stay there pretty much the rest of their life with their parents. And then when the parents passes away, then they get to keep that whatever place that is they call. Now, the guy, since he makes 30,000 pesos a month or $600 a month, because he makes that much, he's very attractive to the other women. This guy could be an ugly motherfucker. It don't matter. Other women is gonna look at him as, well, he may be able to provide me a little lifestyle that I like. Maybe a cell phone. They're not even asking for Gucci bags or Louis Vuitton bags. They're asking for maybe just a cell phone. So now this guy, who's a bank manager, engages with another woman because, like I said, he makes money more than anybody in the neighborhood. So the women likes that lifestyle, so they engage with him. So now they have a girlfriend on the side. She gets pregnant. Now the first wife will find out about it. Now they get into a big argument, fights, whatever you want to call it. But there is no divorce. Okay? This is what happens. The wife is not going to divorce the husband because one, because divorce in the Philippines are looked down upon. There's a stigma behind that. They look at it as like a bad thing. You got a divorce. They look at you as shit. They look at you like you're a piece of crap. Okay, so she's not gonna get a divorce. Number two, she's gonna hang on to that guy because he's the main provider. Okay, the court system not gonna get involved because they don't have laws like child support. They don't have any of that. Trust me. They don't. Never mind. So anyway, so the woman will just accept it, like accept that her husband has another woman on the side. So now the husband who's making 30,000 pesos, he's gonna have to divide the money between the two families he's raising. The man doesn't stop there. He's gonna get another girl, get her pregnant. Now there's the third woman involved with a baby. So his 30,000, you divide that into threes. So everybody gets 10,000. That man is broke. He'll either disappear, start a new life, or he stays where he's at being broke. Meanwhile, the three ladies, they're having a hard life. And then they'll be enticed to work overseas because overseas they make more money. So now they go overseas to make more money, and we're back to the same story like the first scenario. The women over there gets to see other men with money, Rolex, cars and everything, and they say, I want that lifestyle. So they go. Now they're more aggressive because they don't forget that their husband cheated on them. They're going to say, fuck that guy, man. He cheated on me 20 years ago or 10 years ago. So now he goes with the Arabian prince, Kuwait guy. Now she engaged with that, have a better lifestyle. She'll never come home. So it's the same story as the first scenario. So the first scenario and second scenario, they end up about the same. Just the beginning is a little bit different. But the ending on the fourth quarter of the game, everybody loses. So whose fault is it? I don't know. Well, I do know, but I just don't want to say it. There's not a lot of jobs in the Philippines, and the men are not given the opportunity to be able to give what the woman wants, a lifestyle, to be the provider, to be the alpha male. They don't even get to this point. They don't have that because just come on, man, $600, that's nothing. But what I don't understand, if you're a man and you make $600, why do you want to get a bunch of girls pregnant? Why you want to leave this family, single moms, and raising kids on their own? Why? Man, I don't get it. If I was in the Philippines, with the heart that I have right now, if I make $600, I stay with one woman. That's it. I don't want to get another woman and get her pregnant. I mean, come on. It's enticing because I can show off the 30,000 pesos, so that's $600 to entice her, but the final outcome is the kids will have man, you already know what's going to happen to the kids. And the cycle goes on, years after years, and now there's no breaking that cycle. That's why there's only two types of women in general in the Philippines. One, single mom, or two, going to be a single mom. That's sad, right? It's because the income and also the being irresponsible people that they think it's a joke to, have kids. I mean, man, it's hard and it's costly to raise kids. If the government enforces child support, oh man, then maybe they'll stop. They'll stop making babies. But who am I to say that? Who am I? I'm nobody. So that's what's going on in the Philippines. We're back to the basics. Women wants a provider, protector, and wants and very attracted to a lifestyle that they want. So we're back to the lifestyle again. And because men over there, because of the situation in the Philippines, they don't even get the chance to be able to provide because the system over there, they pay very little. And I'm hoping in the future, while I'm still young, that they'll be able to change the system over there where they get paid more money so that they can marry a wife, have children in their own house, and they don't have to work outside the Philippines to find more money. So there's no separation between the two couples. That would be an ideal. No more OFW, overseas Filipino worker, because that causes separation and it does assist in breaking up the marriage. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. What I have. So, women. It's not women's fault to act this way. Women are born with expectations from the man to provide a lifestyle. Because women gets happy when they be able to spend money to buy things. Right? So it's not their fault. That's the way they're built. So if you are a man, you want a woman, you want to make her happy, you got to make a lot of money. Make a lot of money, and then you'll be able to provide for her that lifestyle that she wants. Maybe you can talk her down to like, hey, slow down a little bit of that lifestyle. And hopefully, if she's a good woman, she'll say, Okay, I'll cut it down a little bit, and then you have a happy marriage. So that's it, guys. So that's all I got. Women stay women, men stay being men. We got, as men, we got a job to do. Is Our job is to provide, and I know we feel happy when we can provide, especially when we see our women having fun in the mall shopping, because women are built to shop. Um, this story that I just made, or the stuff I made here in the video, there I can't blame anybody else. I'm just telling you guys how it is. If anybody can find a solution, then fix the problem. All right, guys. So leave some comments, give me a thumbs up, help me out with my channel so I can be able to continue to make informational videos like this, for for food for thoughts, for people to be able to learn stuff like this while they're young, so they can, even though they won't experience it yet, they have an idea what life is all about. Remember, guys, this video is pertaining to the normal, regular people, not the one that's well-to-do, because there are a lot of rich people in the Philippines, and they're they're not part of this video because their problems are different. They make more money than you and I make, and that's the truth. I'm telling you, I've seen Lamborghinis over there, not one, not two. I've seen, I think, maybe a whole row of it, maybe like 9 or 10 of them, all lined up. So I know there's rich people over there, but they don't belong in this video that I talk about. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and keep supporting. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.